if you play the four-player version, there's like one player slot for like each character. So if you wanted to switch characters, you have to like fiddle around with the controls and everything. So in that case, I just play as whoever throughout the whole game. But otherwise, I'd like to change just to sort of to avoid the monotony of playing the same character throughout the whole game. But I think, you know, in those games especially, like it's the characters really aren't that different, so um, it's like still not that much point switching if you compare it to like Final Fight or Streets of Rage or like any other beat 'em up, really.
Yeah, Streets of Rage is hugely different, especially 2. It's like
Yeah, the
whole
first
different
one
game.
they're not that different, but yeah, that's
Streets of
the thing.
Rage
Like
2, you
in
play as what's the big dude, the wrestler guy, versus
Max.
Yeah, versus Skate. It's like just a completely different game.
Yeah, and it's like the thing about the Turtles game too. Like the characters don't feel that different, but more importantly, like the move lists are pretty much exactly the same. And I think that's like pretty much one of the most important things about the beat 'em up game, like for enjoyment, is that I think it needs to have like a pretty sizable move list, and or preferably both, like move lists that are quite different for each character.
I was gonna say, I mean, the move list isn't that small, but yeah, I mean, all the characters are basically the same. They all have the same moves and everything. Aside from, I think, like their special attacks are different, but even those are just like, you know, hit all the enemies around you, take a little bit of damage.
Yeah, they're really not that different.
Well, Raps is not like that. It's directional.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
enough
Yeah,
to make bosses,
his only
because
hits
it's
right.
not an area attack. You can just pummel bosses with it because it's just like high damage in one direction.
Yeah, and he's got that great like weird animation for it, like the little yell. So I'm just like locking bosses down, and that's really satisfying.
Second chance.
Hell yeah, dude. That was a badass little move right there. Oh, fuck you.
I feel like, I don't know, like, yeah, I was thinking like Final Fight, to be like one of the first games in that whole genre, like, you know, like I guess to stand out, all the characters really have extremely different moves. Like, you know, Guy plays way differently from Hager, and Cody plays way differently from the other two. I mean, of course, Cody is the only, you know, sensible character choice because of the whole like punch, punch, turn, like, you know, lockdown you can get on every single enemy in the game, but I mean, they all play really differently.
Yeah, I think obviously Final Fight owes a lot to Double Dragon, but it pretty much it wasn't the first, like the original beat 'em up, but it pretty much like established like 95% of what like you would consider a beat 'em up game to be in like the following years. Sort of like Street Fighter 2 in a way. Like Street Fighter 2 didn't like create the fighting game genre, but it pretty much defined it. And I think Final Fight was very similar with beat 'em up games. But it's pretty interesting actually. Like Final Fight did have a lot of like sort of odd little quirks that you didn't really see in many other beat 'em up games. For example, that like I said, like the characters have different moves, and with I'm not sure if I don't think Hager could do it, but I think both Cody and Guy could. Like if you do a normal combo, if you hit if you like punch an enemy a few times, and then if you hold like up or down or a direction or whatever, instead of like the final attack in your combo, you'd throw them. And other like little weird moves like that that you'd never really see in any other beat 'em up game.
The craziest thing for me, like I never really played Streets of Rage until recently, and with Flylighter, like on an emulator in his house or adulthood. And the thing that's crazy to me, because I used a Final Fight, which doesn't have much. First Final Fight on SNES, which doesn't have much in the way of ow, shit.
Anything.
Of anything, right? It's just kind of like punch people to death. The end.
Yeah, it's a really kind of a crappy port as well.
Yeah, so it amazed me the amount of moves, how wonderful the graphics were, how fluid it all was, and the amount of the breadth of the move set. But the whole thing where you grab onto a dude, you can either knee him in the front, or you can flip over him and do a suplex.
Yes.
Well, I was playing Blaze, so that's what she does. But anyways, was so awesome, and how you could do that in the way that you could do that in co-op to like grab a dude, flip over him, have your friend run up to his face and beat him in or whatever. Awesome.
Or flip off the other. Like, I can't tell you how many times I flipped off a Cuba's back and jump kicked the dude, or something to that effect.
Yeah, I think like for me, like the Streets of Rage games were pretty much what I was raised on as far as beat 'em ups go. So that's why I was like, it was really difficult for me to go from that to anything else. I don't think I've ever played a beat 'em up where I haven't felt at least a little bit disappointed at like not being able to do very many moves, especially like off of grabs, because that's like, yeah, that's like the core of Streets of Rage, like being able to grab an enemy and like knee them twice and then headbutt them or throw them away or suplex them, or yeah, just like swing over your buddy and flip and tackle someone else or whatever, like all the different cool things you could do in that game.
And even more importantly, like it wasn't just like crazy shit that you could do because it's awesome, but it was like all useful in certain situations. It actually
Oh yeah, yeah.
makes the game deeper.
And I think
So,
they
Jigsaw,
really
do you
hit
like? I would say, do you like Alien vs Predator, like the Capcom game? Because I know that game has a surprising number of different moves you can do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never really got into it like that much, but I have played it a fair bit, and it's really, really awesome. I think like those sort of mid-90s Capcom arcade beat 'em ups definitely were really, really cool. But you know, not having arcades, I was never able to play them like at the time. It wasn't until like the CPS2 was emulated years later that I actually got to play most of them. And but yeah, I mean AVP is, I guess I haven't really played it as much as I would have liked, and I don't really know that much about the sort of combo system and everything in it. I know it's really, really deep and you can do all kinds of crazy shit. I've seen some stuff on YouTube and whatnot, but I haven't played it that much, and I haven't really played Battle Circuit either. But some of the other like Capcom beat 'em ups, like the Dungeons and Dragons games, I played quite a lot, and those are really, really great. And I guess those are, you know, the sort of the few exceptions to the like the games where I would not really feel disappointed at lack of different moves.
Yeah, like Shadows over Mystara I've played a good bit, and like I really like that game. I haven't played the original one that much. Like I think it was Tower of Doom. But Shadows of Mystara I've played a good bit, and I've always just wished I had some people to play it with. It's a really boring game to play by yourself, I think. It would have been great to have an arcade like the machine.
Yeah. Well, it's even better. You can play it online now with like GPO or whatever. Because I can't really imagine playing a game like that in arcades because, well, I guess there are many games like it, but yeah, it's like kind of like Tower of Druaga we talked about yesterday. That just the idea of paying to play that game and like wanting to beat it, it's just like too daunting. And I think Dungeons and Dragons games, especially the second one, is kind of like that. I mean, I played it through on emulator several times, but even then, it's like just like the final boss alone, you have to like put in 30 credits before you can beat it. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah, it's a total credit muncher, especially like you said near the end. And there's a lot of stuff in it too that's like weird. Like you mentioned Druaga, like the cursed sword. Like in it, you have to swing it like so many times, and it hurts you every time you swing it. And I don't see like that there are certain things in the game that would even be possible to do without two players. Like I think you can't even get the Holy Avenger sword without having a cleric to pick it up to uncurse it or something. So yeah, I should actually check out.
Probably not. There's a lot of like hidden stuff, and I mean I haven't played it through a couple of times, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I've never really done a lot of sort of research on the hidden stuff and the secrets, or like what you're supposed to do to find all this special stuff and everything. But yeah, I know there's a lot to it, definitely, and I mean the second one was even 4-player, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of, not necessarily a lot of stuff that required 4 players, but I mean you would get a totally different experience with 4 people, and it would be a lot easier to get certain things and like not get sort of stuck in certain situations where you have a character that really sucks against those enemies or whatnot.
Yeah,
This
well,
would
if
be
we could
bad
get
the
Maine
end for
working,
each Cuban.
Yeah, I mean, just
That would be
like you
great.
said.
sorry, I was gonna say if we could get MAME working, we'd
Actually,
fucking play
guys-
that shit co-op in our own house. But unfortunately, I can't understand how that thing works. MAME is a mystery to me.
So you just
Hey
get the
guys, I gotta
graphics,
head out.
the GUI version.
I've got to get ready for work. So
all right.
this was fun, and
You know what?
I'll talk
You got to
you
get
guys
ready
later.
for work. I'm at the end.
This has been
I'm at the
going
end of
long enough.
recording anyway. So
So I'll tell you what. Why don't y'all? Thanks for listening. This has been Select Button Podcast 22. Random ass shit, Demon Souls, arcade games, beat 'em ups, fighting games, Mortal Kombat, etc., etc. How about you all sign off?
I am Flylighter signing off and recording video.
This is A-Paul signing off.
This is R1 signing off.
And this is Jigsaw signing off.
You don't all have to say signing off.
It's too late, man.
Anyways, alright.
You started a
so,
trend.
Thanks. I know. I'm just that cool. All the kids want to be like Mike. My name isn't Mike. Anyways, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you want more of these more conversational, less thematic podcasts, or whether it's really annoying and you hate it. That's about it. Peace.
Peace, peace.